Next stop, 610th Street.
A million.
Putting a new modern twist on classical music, that is exactly what a group of Cleveland kids are doing.
Sure is in this News 5 original.
It is local hip-hop artist Archie Green's brainchild, teaming up with the Cleveland Classical Guitar Society and the Community Center.
It's like if someone wants to pick up a violin, it's no longer looked at, oh, that's nerdy or corny or whatever. That's really cool.
So right now we're in Shaker Heights, Ohio, which is about 10 minutes from downtown Cleveland, Ohio. We're at my parents' crib right now, near this spot called Shaker Square. I've lived in Shaker Heights for going on 5 years now, and I just love this neighborhood. I love how diverse it is. And I didn't grow up in this neighborhood in particular. I grew up in a small town called Chagrin Falls, which is about 45 minutes from downtown. And then I ended up graduating. I transferred to Solon, Ohio, Solon High School. I graduated there in 2004. So I wasn't a huge fan of Chagrin Falls growing up. I was the only black kid, in pretty much all my classes. And I will say this, a lot of the experiences there helped to shape me into the man that I am today. But it was some traumatic times, going through racism, prejudice, and then just going through the black experience in a place where no one there related to me. And I feel like that shapes some of the ways that I make and the moves that I make and some of the business, that I handle.
Once I knew I was a king, I had to convince the world. The journey I took to get here had forks in the road, speed bumps, and plenty potholes. Car breakdowns with no insurance, and no roadside assistance. But I knew, somehow I always knew, something inside of me wouldn't let me stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't you ever stop. Don't you ever stop. Don't you ever stop. Faith brought me here. Love brought me here.
Given all the ups and downs your journey has been and everything that you've gone through to get this far, what's one word to just, if you could wrap it all up in one word, what would that word be? And then elaborate on that word.
Faith, man.
My name is Kelsey Carter. I'm the impact director of Shooting Without Bullets, and my role on my Violin Weighs A Ton was production. And my co-leader, Amanda King, who's the creative director of Shooting Without Bullets, was also in charge of the creative direction on the production.
This here is your reminder. All you need is self-belief. You ain't even need a deal. Started rap at 13.
It was probably about 2 months before the actual show. Archie had spoken to us about the project that he was working on generally, and then he gave us a call, we met up and talked about actually being a part of the production and helping him bring his vision to life.
So when I first came up with the concept for this project, I knew I wanted to tie both the worlds of hip-hop and classical music, and a common term in the hip-hop community is called my vinyl weighs a ton. Any producer that is a sample-based producer has these crates and crates and crates of records that they sample. And so it was like, my vinyl weighs a ton, literally, because of all these records. And so to me, it was a good play on words, you know, my violin instead of my vinyl. And to me, it was just to the point in terms of the fusion of these two worlds, classical music and hip-hop music coming together.
So the event on September 13th in Reinberger Chamber Hall at Severance Hall is going to feature these kids from Lexington-Bell.
So this project was funded by Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. I was an artist that was selected as part of a training cohort called Learning Labs, which took place December of last year. And it was myself, 11 other artists, as well as 12 nonprofits, basically learning how to collaborate on a public arts project. And at the end of the training, I decided to partner with Lexington-Bell Community Center, primarily just because I really vibed well with the representative from Lexington-Bell, but also the fact that I wanted to work with youth. I immediately knew I wanted to, you know, come up with this idea of blending hip hop music and classical music, like teaching them an instrument. I actually had a friend of mine who introduced me to Eric Mann, who is the executive director for Cleveland Classical Guitar Society. I reached out to Eric and I told him this idea about teaching these kids how to play classical guitar, but instead of classical music, teaching them how to play hip hop songs. That basically is what happened. We, myself and Lexington-Bell, we partnered with the Cleveland Classical Guitar Society, and we had weekly lessons with these students. Over the past 2.5 months, we've done these lessons, as well as I've done writing workshops with them. We also wanted to address areas of growth with the students, as far as social anxiety, acts of kindness, and parental engagement. And the ways that we did that was we took them on meaningful field trips, such as going to Mocha Cleveland, or, you know, getting them to do random acts of kindness for each other, for the community. And then, you know, we had a concert at the end of the year. You know, their parents came out, their family, their friends came out, and they performed the songs that they learned all summer. And then, you know, obviously the concert that we're doing next week is the culmination of everything that we've done, you know, in front of their entire community. I would say, I mean, I was exposed to classical music as a kid. I mean, I think pretty much any kid that grew up in Cleveland at one point visited or went on a field trip to Severance Hall or has seen the orchestra play live. I mean, they are a staple in this community, have been for almost 100 years, at least at Severance Hall. And so, although I was a fan of classical music, it wasn't until I saw He Got Game, Spike Lee film. That's what really got me into classical. Let's go, G. Because I love the juxtaposition that Spike used between urban culture, you know, inner city, basketball, street, and that blending of classical music, Aaron Copland's Appalachian Spring, which to me, that's my all-time favorite piece of classical music, next to Clair de Lune by Claude Debussy. And I don't know, like there would be times after watching that movie numerous times where I would go to that soundtrack and listen to that because it would, you know, it gives you chills or frisson, you know, when you feel like it's an inexplainable feeling that you feel when you listen to classical music, especially when you hear it live. And, you know, I would start noticing classical music in films, you know, so He Got Game, and then also the Ocean's 11 series, and more recently films like If Beale Street Could Talk, you know, Nicholas Brill. Who is a phenomenal composer. You know, sometimes I just find myself just listening to classical music. And of course, like classical music clashing with hip hop. I mean, the first exposure I had to that was Nas when he sampled Carmina Burana for Hate Me Now. You know, that was like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah, and then, you know, over time it just has become more of a common thing, seeing these two genres colliding in music.
And also with you is recording engineer and producer extraordinaire Perry Wolfman.
I've been working with Archie going on 4 years now. He would kind of give me the basic ideas for a song, very synthesized, very electronic, heavy production with his vocals. When I first heard a lot of these pieces, I thought they were great, but I thought his message was incredible. I mean, the way that he talks about being a mental health advocate, talking about depression and anxiety, speaking a message that connected with me on a whole other level. And in terms of the music, when I heard the instrumentation of this electronic synthesized beat and the electronic orchestration, I wanted to add kind of my own creativity, but flesh out the harmonic structure and melodic phrasing that I heard. And yeah, I came to Archie and just said, like, listen, I have all these ideas. I really want to work with you no matter what it takes, because I hear the message that you're speaking and that you're rapping, and I think it could go to a whole other level of creativity musically. So when I was in college, I incorporated a bunch of classical musicians from my school, and it just evolved into a whole other art form, I think. It's not really classical, it's not really hip-hop. There's elements of like jazz and folk and some other things in between, and it just breathes life to a whole new dimension of music.
pin them legs back. Music is therapeutic, that's why I use it. Helps me break these nightmares down that are lucid. Don't wanna lose it. Pour it all out in my MacBook till it turns to the fact book. Let's talk facts. My life was very dark. Moved in with my sister, was smooth at the start. No interruptions from my art, except a little beagle's bark. You could say it was a walk in the park, except the elephant that no one else could see. I was broken in Stocksby till she helped me to my feet. Finally got a job, but freedom was still robbed. You see, the court paper said I couldn't really drive that far. You asked why it is. Archie was depressed over a freaking year. My life was lifeless. Don't want them see me cry. Where my Wayfair is at. Doctor said it gets better soon as I peel them legs back. Peel them legs back. Peel them legs back. Peel them legs back. Soon as I peel them legs back. Peel them legs back. Peel them legs back. Doctor said it gets better. Now class, peel them legs back.
Immediately after, you walked off the stage and, your wife was there, you saw how well it went off and it happened just exactly how you envisioned it. How did you feel in that moment, going back in that lobby, seeing everyone's face, shaking the hands, giving hugs, just the warm embrace? Just tell us all about that.
I remember, as soon as it was, done, I had done my last performance, crowds, applauding and everything, the only thought in my mind was, where's my wife? I just want to see my wife. Because up to that point, it was all about everybody from Severance to, my team, to these kids, I worked my ass off, to the point where, the kids, a lot of people may not know, the kids, they had to eat, after their rehearsal. So not only did I make arrangements to get pizza ordered, I had to go out myself and help the delivery man to set up the food. I had put all this work and it came off. It couldn't have gone off more just flawless than it did. And the only person I wanted to see at that point was my wife, because she's seen me, all the different emotions that I went through over the past year and some change leading up to this point. She saw me at my low point. She saw me when I was happy and celebrating different small wins, small victories. And as soon as she came back, I just hugged her and said, we did it. We did. I couldn't believe we actually did it. And it was amazing. It was a surreal moment, man. Just, the fact that not only did I come out there in my white tux, but at the end we did a tribute to Nip, and how important that was, and it was, my creative team was their idea to have the two young girls holding up the sign, hip hop is black excellence, and Severance Hall is just, it was a powerful moment. And then after that, people came back congratulating me and everything. And my next thought was I need a drink. I need a drink. Yeah.
I enjoy learning guitar and piano because I like the sound of it.
Yeah. Sometimes it brings tears to my eyes. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
We were making a song. It was we're gonna take our car to the grocery store, and then we
Listen.
We told Mr. Archie we were
Listen.
having a guitar. And then he started,
Bring in the horns, the strings, the percussion, but also bring in fresh Amani Cove, no exception. We here to perform, there's no question, but here's the aspect of performance that I'm suggesting. I show and prove in my cane-colored tux. I'm big in my city on my daddy Warbucks, on my own path. Not cause competition sucks, I still can't seem to find them just to be like, what's up? A unicorn, word to my nigga Swoop. Paid the cost to be the boss, word to my Uncle Snoop. Some of y'all's happy just riding in the coupe. We moving Porsche Macans that fit the entire crew. Oh, study the greats just like how the Dons do. Find your inspiration when it can't find you. Much as I prefer to have a clone at times too, you will never replicate whatever my mind do. Still hard to believe, man. Like we actually did it, man. Chills just thinking about it. Did it for the city, did it the right way. Did it for these kids, gave them lifetime memories. But it was a long road to get there, you know what I mean? Like, it's like this.
Class is all about Black excellence. So before we leave this historic night, and again, give yourselves a round of applause for being here tonight, for being a part of history. Me and my DJ gonna give y'all a dose of Black excellence. Let's go, Fresh. I'm gonna need y'all to stand up for this one. Hey, hey, put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up. Black suits, black ties, such elegance. Pocket swole credit cards, dead presidents. Black chucks, black diamonds, black necklaces. Such decadence, welcome to Black excellence. Champagne wishes, caviar for breakfast, black fist for the meaning. Champagne. Hey, hands up, y'all. 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 Black suits, black ties, such elegance. Pocket swole credit cards, their presidents. Black chucks, black diamonds, black necklaces. Such decadence, welcome to Black excellence.
You gotta just stick to the script. You need overwhelming confidence. Be your own biggest fan, your own biggest believer, and put it on your back and carry the weight.
Thank y'all so much. My Violin Weighs A Ton. Peace and love, y'all.
And others with wishes for joy in existence and going the distance. To tell the truth, yo, there will be resistance, but don't let that stop you or hinder your vision. Each of us is born with a gift on the inside, and inside is insight into your life's mission. When that mission is missing, you're not really listening. Your heart has a voice and it's called intuition. See, it's here in this song. From the day you were born, it was there all along. Your friends may laugh, parents make you sad. They never took the time to use the gifts that they had. It's all out of love. Don't hate them for it, no matter what they say. Your dreams are important. I took the time out to tell you this cause I love you. You can do anything. Signed Archie Green, your big brother. You can do anything, anything, anything. You can do anything, anything. You can do anything, anything. You can do anything, anything, anything. You can do anything, anything.